Alrighty then, folks, it's time for another episode of Sink the Bismarck with me, Wolf190D. Now, just a quick reminder, other than to like, subscribe, follow, it helps, all that sort of jazz. I know about, I think, 3 out of 4 of my last episodes might seem a little broken. If you've been leaving me comments on that, great, thank you. And if not, and you're wondering about that, it was because I think during those transmissions I was having issues with faulty internet or something along those lines. So, yeah, just a little clarifier there. Anyway, all of that other stuff aside, let's get to today's broadcast. Hopefully it says I'm still connected, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it. Hopefully, if I can, if I may. Otherwise, it'll be a little weird. So, yeah. Okay. Just checking a couple of things before I go ahead and get to it. So, where were we? We've got a conquest in Denmark. We've got 3 turns left on that. We've got a naval invasion going down in Portuguese Guinea, which is going to be over next turn. Maybe what we try to do also is set up an invasion in Praia, which is where... that's going to be Cape Verde. It's the province name, not the city attached to it. So I don't know about y'all, but that's kind of how I tend to look for locations on the map. I remember the city names better than I remember the province, more often than not. At least on a lot of the other places, a lot of the other locations. So anyway. So can these guys, like, please maybe come through the Kiel Canal? No, it's not gonna let me travel through the Kiel Canal. See, I can move them right here, but I can't move them to the Kiel Canal or through the Kiel Canal, even though it's not blocked off. I don't understand. These cruisers were able to run through there. Instead of going around the long way, they were able to run through there. So I don't get it. I don't get it at all. All right, let's see here. Rhineland has one more month, and then the rest of the fleet. Actually, we're going to move in there as well. So yeah. All right, we've got that. Scattergun is there, and we've got about 15,000 tons. No, not even. See, to get to 7, you need 8. It's not 18, is it? Well, it'd be 8. That'd be 27. So yeah, 18,000 tons. Don't have enough tons to give to put another battleship in repair right now. So let's go to Tsingtao. And the new MG-42s actually are launching. Now, what was it I said I was going to be making? Yes, I'm going to try. I don't know how well it's going to do because we've only got Mark 116s, but what I'm going to try is to we really want to pick on the Spanish some more. Not really, not right now. Though technically we're picking on everybody right now. Okay. Let's go ahead and fight this battle real quick, and then we can see about making these. What class battleship is it? It's the L-20, the L-20E Alphas, which would have superseded the Byron class. In size and in armament. Good Lord, they were slated to be 48,700 tons. I don't know that we need anything that big. Oh, I haven't done that in a while. Good Lord. I must be slipping in my old age. Anyway, yep, our destroyers have popped smoke when we didn't even need to. My goodness. It's an interesting position for that, and the fact that it can fit in there all nestled in there real nice is, well, it's interesting to say the least. And what I ought to start doing now is refitting a lot of my ships with the RDF equipment, particularly my capital ships, but maybe more so the destroyers than anything else. They're the ones I tend to use for scouting the most. I didn't realize there was dreadnoughts 4 and 5 above these. Or rather, I had forgotten. Seven kilometers and we're still having to drop bombs on these guys. It is a big deal. losing transports. Okay, so 3 of the Wiesbaden light cruisers. No, I don't have enough. Um, 2,000 tons? Occupy Oman. No, I don't really want to go to Oman right now. And hmm. Actually, let's move all of them. And then what we do, there we go. Will that battleship by itself be okay? Probably. Okay, so how is his inferior force? Oh, because we just started that one. For some reason, I thought there was another invasion going on across the land. Oh, you know what? It could be. Yeah, it's the Belgians going into northern France. Okay. For some reason, I thought that I had launched one from like Djibouti out against Italian Somaliland or something like that. I don't know, or British Somaliland. Who the heck knows? Mark II 15s coming up and Mark IV 3s. Yeah, as soon as I get those Mark IV 3-inch guns, I think that's what I'll try to do. Is I'll go ahead and start on those L20E alphas. Might be nice to see a fictional ship brought to life, at least in part. Electro-hydraulic gear number 1. And we're actually going to be getting battle cruiser 4s next turn as well. So should we build some more battle cruisers? Maybe. Where is all of our production going right now? Um, which is weird. We just no, we didn't. They got done commissioning. So MG42 V2s. Are coming up. 59994s. I don't know how that's going to work. Hopefully they're not inferior, but they are larger. I think they're as fast. Yes, they are. They are just as fast. Ah, that's what it is. So we've got one of the MG42s going to Canada and one of the Hessens going to the Ottoman Empire. And then 3 of the Nürnbergs are going to Canada. And we've got, well, next turn, 4 of them are going to be ours. So I think we'll be all right. Let's go for it, guys. Mm-hmm. Hmm. All right. I mean, at least the Americans have done some damage. They've got some victory points. The Italians are down 5 digits to 3. The Americans are just down 6 digits to 5. Excuse me. Oh wow, the merchant ships are getting torpedo tubes now. Hmm. Okay, where's he sending that fleet? Down to Charleston. Okay. Let's see what it's going to take to invade either the Netherlands or Belgium. Hundred and 65,000 tons. Um, okay. So I put them all down here because this is where all my fleets are active. It actually makes sense. Um, okay, that's fine, but we're going to go ahead and invade the Netherlands. So I've got 132,000 tons right there. If I take 18, that would be 50. Okay. Well, we'll position them all next turn. Um, 1200 can come on over there. Okay, now for the hard part. Let's see. Let's see what these Dreadnought 4 and 5 hulls look like. I got to get something that's, what, like 40, 50, something that'll get around 50,000 tons on max build. Alright, and we said it was how big? How big was she? Max, let's see here, displacement, full load 48.7. So let's see what it looks like at 48,700 tons. It's either that or... And let's take a look at this whole form, 85, 77, 74. 85 to 86, 77 to 80, 74 to 77, 88.5 to 91, 51 to 45. Okay, so this is, it really looks about the same, doesn't it? Technically, though, it's supposed to be on the Type 3 hull because this is supposed to have 12 5.9s, and this most I see is 2, 4, 6, 8. I see 8. Unless we put the advanced Dreadnought tower. Which it didn't really appear to have. But it's got a single funnel. Well, then that's the question, is if Dreadnought 3, no, Dreadnought 3 doesn't get anywhere near the size. Draft, beam, neg9 to positive 10. Neg9 to positive 10. Okay, so let's see what are our dimensions. We're going to go with Dreadnought Type 5. Length was 781 feet. The beam is 33.5 on the 33.5 on the meters, which is 110 feet. Oops, that's the draft. (109 feet 12 inches). that's about dead. That's about as dead on as it's gonna get, isn't it? The draft at full load would be 32 foot 6 inches. The draft is actually a negative 32.6. Though there's two different ones. There's 29 foot 6 inches. Let's go back to 0, shall we? Negative 10.5 on the draft. Okay. Oh, that's kind of a shallow. Okay, so 48,700 tons. That brings the length up to 831. So let's go with negative 5. 778 on the length, which I think gets it close enough. Okay. Okay. Technically, it's only got one funnel. Oh, this is gonna be tricky, isn't it? Oh my. Though it's almost like a transition ship. I mean, the reality is I don't have okay, so hold on a second. That's gonna do that. Wow, the turbo electric actually is cheaper. Impressive. What's the speed? Wow, she was due to do 26 knots. Oh, man, I don't have any heavy cruisers that are going to be able to keep pace with this ship. Let's go with oil. Now for the funnels. I'm going to modify this thing slightly. I'm going to give it two stacks. Because I don't have the funnel tech right now. Now it's going to have, for armament, it's going to have 842 centimeters, which is 16.5. So it's mounted in twin turrets. 16 5s. Good God. Not triple barrels, just double barrels. forward weight offset. Okay, let's bring that back. Let's bring that back. Bring that back. Bring that back. Or would it be more conducive? Really? You're just gonna wipe out everything? Okay. Or would it be more conducive to do it like this? I mean, we've done this before. Okay. And Citadel number 4. There we go. We've got them. Barbette number 3. Anti-torpedo number 2. The triple hull. Actually, let's stick with the double hull because these are battleships. Electro-hydraulic. Besides, that's going to give us 2 more. So 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And I think 12 was the magic number of 105, 150s rather, 150 millimeter guns. Let's go with the high capacity HE. We'll tone it down to light for now. Okay. The rate of fire is not going to be fantastic on these. It's half a round a minute. What's the max armor we can put on this? So let's see here. The turrets were supposed to be 13.8. Good lord, that's nothing. That's 14 inches of armor. We'll go with 3 inches on top and a 10-inch barbette. I'll tell you what though, I'm going up to 16. Take it on up. Let me see here. The first inner deck, the main deck. Let's see here. Armor. Wow, so the rear, after the rearmost turret, the belt was reduced to 11.8 inches. Or 12 inches. So, Jesus. We got 14 on that, and we'll call it 11 on the aft belt. belt was reduced to almost 10 inches in the bow. 9.8, so we'll call it 9 inches in the bow. And then we have 2 inner belts. We'll do 7 and 5 on the inner belts. That should give a very good amount of protection. Let's see here. The forwardmost part of the bow was 1.2 inches thick. Barbettes were 350, so almost 14 inches on the barbettes, decreasing to 250 in the rear. Okay. Let's check something else real quick. Wow, they were supposed to be L45s on the main guns. So let's see here. They're 43s. Let's see what a 5% increase is going to do. It's going to overweight us. 45s. 45s. 44s. 45s. Okay, so the deck. Let's go with 4 inches on the deck. 2.5 on the fore. And 5 inches on the aft. Okay, that's actually really good. The conning tower, go with 18 inches in the conning tower and 3 inches of armor on the superstructure, which is bringing us to a little bit heavy. Some guns have poor sector fire. Which ones have poor sector fire? Please tell me. Please tell me which ones have poor sector of fire. Please? No? Nobody? Okay. Now, here's the question. Should we name it the L20 E's? That's the name of the class. I mean, it is the name of, but that's design phase stuff. They would have been called what? Hmm. We'll leave these as the Heimdalls. Just be aware that this is an imagining or a renditioning of the L20E alphas that were proposed designs, though I think it's built on a even more advanced dreadnought hull than actually existed at the time. But this is and actually the superstructure here plays into what could or should have been. Though, so there again, the hulls, the Dreadnought 3 doesn't work for it, so you'd have to build it on either the 4 or the 5s if you want to do this yourself. What does that do overall for the ship? Not entirely sure. They are maxed out on weight. The armoring is where we want it. The range is where we want it. We've got oil fuel with natural boilers, though we were not able to put auxiliary engines into it. How about an improved shaft? Nope, nothing like that. So hopefully with some later era upgrades and stuff, the turrets might get lighter. But we've kind of done what we could for this one. And even with semi-armor piercing shells at the 10,000 meters, it's still punching through pretty much anything that that our enemies can come up with. So that's going to keep the damage nice and high, of course. Oh my God, almost 6,000 damage on the HE shells. And it's our first ship to incorporate the Citadel 4, the turtleback armor scheme, which is actually really nice. It's a very good armor layout, very solid armor layout. Let me see here. I'm going to do a 2, and then for now a 0.5 on that. Let's see if that doesn't get us enough space to get maybe a shaft on there or an auxiliary engine of some kind. No, nothing. All right. Though technically our main belt is over armored by 0.2 of an inch. That's where we are right now with that. All right, so see if I can't get a good angle for this. I think that's us right there. Okay. Technically, though, that ship should have been across on a flush deck. We'll just have to see. All right, we'll leave this being called the Heimdall. Though we could use it to rename some of the other ones. You know, bring back the namesakes from some of the other from our predecessor battleships. I don't know. We'll call it the Heimdall, though. That'll work. Okay. That's that. This design we can go ahead and remove, or do we leave it up? Yeah, no, let's go ahead and remove this one. And because of the turret layout, it would just become really cost prohibitive to try to redo this one as well. So let's go ahead and remove the upgrade for the MG42s as well. All right. The Wiesbadens are our mine layers, so we don't really need to do anything with them. unless those are obsolete, which doesn't look like they are. This ship type though is obsolete. Actually, we can't build it because it's a foreign type. The runes. Excuse me. Oh, and that does remind me as well. There's one other thing I would like to look at, and that's going to be our battle cruisers. What do we have for battle cruisers? I think we just popped 3 and 4. Battle cruiser, nope, 3 no, but 4 yes. All right, and battle cruiser 4 just seems to be an improvement over battle cruiser 2. 28,000 tons to 34,000 tons. Yeah. So it really is just an improvement. Battle Cruiser 1 became obsolete. We can still build large torpedo boat number 2, but I don't really see a need for that. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get out of the shipbuilder. And then these Heimdalls. Let's go put a work order in for 2 of them. At 26 knots, the Nürnbergs are going to be able to keep pace with them. But the runes will not, which I guess is fine. We'll just maybe have to build a new heavy cruiser at some point. Possibly. But anyway, let's go ahead and build 2 of these Heimdalls. Okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to hold them, because right now it's not going to work out too well. Besides, I need my finances to, let's see here. I think I want to take the Koenigs, and I want to upgrade the Koenigs in some way, but let's see here. We've got Mark IV 10s, Mark II 15s. We're a little ways away yet on the next level of 15s, I think. So let's go ahead and take a look at these Bayerns. How do the Mark II 15s look on the Bayerns? Let's find out. Okay, so let's go ahead with a refit. Oh, those 15s haven't changed at all, have they? They're just Mark IIs now. Let's upgrade to Krupp 3. Uh-oh. Nope. That was not pleasant at all. Why do they have to do that? I mean, they practically insist on it. Okay. That's going to make our forward weight crazy. Okay, let's see here. Going to oil fuel. What happens if I change over the turbines to turbo electric? Let's see here. They're almost 3,296,000. 297. Though the maintenance actually is a lot less. Let's go with that. Barbette 3, anti-torque 2, Citadel 4. Stereo 3. It's not going to work, is it? Stick with Barbette 2 then. We'll go to the RDF. Just because it's kind of a fun picture. Okay. Still got a problem with forward weight though. We're making the forward deck as thin as we really care to. Okay. Let's go ahead and save that. Oops. I'm not really going to be able to do too much with the engines, though. Um, unless I can strip those out. Somebody remind me to do that next time. And this is something else I think I neglected. I didn't play with the armor on my secondaries. That would have given me balance points to do something else. Let's see here. Oh God, yes. 6 inches on the top of that. No. Okay, let's make a copy of this. And we'll go 3 inches on top of the 5.9s, 2 inches on top of the 3.5. Okay, now that gives us a little bit more leeway to maybe auxiliary. We can't get auxiliary 2, but shafts. Can we increase the shafts? Okay. Let's go with the auxiliary petrol for now. Okay. And the Lothringen, I like that a little better anyway. So let's go with the Heimdall. We're going to delete the Heimdall. And the Bayern 2. Well, like I said, it's tight right now. It's not like we could do much with it other than, let me see here. Well, looks like I might have to worry about that next time, folks. All right, so we're getting things squared away. We're updating old ships. Still don't know what I want to do with the Kaisers. Or were they the Königs? Were they the Kaisers or the Königs? I think they were the Kaisers. Nope, they were the Königs. We built 4 Königs. And see, the Bayern is being limited now. It's only 22 knots. A lot of our old ships are only capable of 22 knots. The Wiesbaden, well, that's a mine layer, so we don't really need it to go fast anyway. But the Kaiser upgrade got us to 23 knots. So that's what I want to at least do for the Bayern. 22 or 23, maybe 24 knots. Oh, 22 isn't bad. But we could leave it there. But the point is that we can maybe upgrade the engine. We'll just have to see how that plays out. All right. So have to tune in for that next time. Let's see if we can't solve some technical issues with some of our ships. We had to jimmy the positioning of the superstructure on the Byrons, which they're actually most due for an upgrade anyway. Not because they're the newest ones, but because they're in this era when we're actually marching towards Mark IV guns. They only had Mark I's. So we'll have to see how all that works out. We got these Nassaus for consideration for sale, or for actually better yet scrapping, because I'm not sure what with the new updates. I'm still not sure if they've allowed you to sell off obsolete vessels to nations that don't have any better. Be a nice feature, actually, come to think of it, if you could sell off your obsolete ships to nations that don't have anything that good. Just because they're obsolete for you doesn't make it obsolete for them. You know, I'm sure the Canadians would love to have these Nassau class dreadnoughts of mine that have been working so well. So anyway, folks, as always, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't done so already and you are enjoying the content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and or follow, whatever the case may be, whatever platform you might be on. Your support is much appreciated. Give me some more encouragement to keep this up. Keep on keeping on. So anyway, gang, till next time, this is Wolf190D.